Hello and welcome to Network. My name is Sphumelele Zondi with your technology and social media news. Remember that you can be a part of our tech conversation. It's SABC Network on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. Use network at sabc.co.za on email. This week, our Twitter poll is asking you if you've experienced any problems with Twitter recently. This is because Twitter has announced that they've had issues worldwide, especially for users of TweetDeck. Results of that are coming up later in the program. But first, here's what's coming up tonight. We look at the Film and Publications Board online amendment bill that's been signed into law by the President. We find out about the Southern African Startup Awards. And our discussion this week is by producer Sandile Hlangane, who is looking at data science as the country has a shortage of them and a lot of people are offering training for data science. Up until now, there hasn't really been a law that regulates online content creators or content created for online spaces. The Film and Publications Board online amendment bill has been signed into law by the President. There are companies like YouTube, for example, which have age restrictions for certain content, and content that's deemed not to be suitable for children often needs people to log on to prove their age. Some are not happy about this new law that's been signed by the President. Many of us produce content with our smartphones and upload it online. Many consume this content and share it. Very few people think about repercussions.
I feel like it's my phone, I'm the one sharing it on my account, so it's like freedom of speech and stuff, so I can do whatever I want to do.
I don't think about it because it's something that is already there. If I don't share it, someone else will share it. Really.
Sometimes if it's very vulgar content, I think about how it's going to reflect on me. But usually I don't because it's online already. So I assume that most people have seen it, so I just share it as well. I don't think about it much.
There have been cases where videos of minors having sex have also been shared on social media.
We also have a situation where if you have unlawful possession of child pornography, it can be a sentence of, say, 10 years. So we do have that, but if you also distribute images also, it can be a criminal offense. If you remember, we've had a case of SABC before, and if you do distribute child pornography that way, remember the SABC video was distributed across the country, and people will want, don't do that because it's to protect the image of what? The child.
Sometimes minors are exposed to adult content. Now, President Cyril Ramaphosa has signed the Film and Publications Amendment Act. It regulates the classification of publications of films and video games.
It says you are not to distribute anything that is harmful. It must be first, remember they say it must be X18, which means a person under the age of 18 cannot look at it. But if you knowingly and unlawfully expose the child to that, it is an unlawful offense.
Some online content creators say this isn't good.
But because of this new law now, it means that you need to pick and choose when it comes to the things that you talk about, which is going to be really hard. So I, as a content creator, I feel like we are stuck in the middle of nowhere. We are being thrown in the deep end and not knowing what's going to as I'm a content creator right here in South Africa.
Some say this new law can't work on its own.
It also highlights and is resting firmly on certain acts that are enacted in terms of criminal offences in the Sexual Offences Act. Therefore, if those acts change, it means the bill in itself will change over time. What government needs to consider doing is first engage industry and the public hearings in which to understand what do people perceive and understand as online content, especially in terms of child pornography.
A group of individuals will form an enforcement committee to make sure that the new Online Film and Publications Amendment Act is enforced. Mobile phone network provider Vodacom has launched an app for people with hearing impairments. It's exclusively available to Vodacom customers.
The month of September marked Deaf Awareness Month. To honor this, Vodacom launched an emergency alert mobile app for deaf and hearing impaired people.
Vodacom realized that our deaf and hearing impaired users don't have a proper emergency app that fits their needs. So just imagine you are in a car accident and you're unable to pick up the telephone and just call a loved one and speak to them. This is the biggest problem our deaf and hearing impaired users have.
The 112 emergency application is unfortunately only available to Vodacom subscribers. The company says that this emergency app service comes at the back of an SMS emergency service that they launched a year ago.
I think it's important to say that please just start in the Play Store or the iStore. Go download the Vodacom 112 app. From there it's very easy. You can go through registration, there you fill in your personal information. We do ask a lot of questions, but it's because this is such a sensitive scenario where we have to have a lot of information about the user. So obviously the more they can give us, the better. So we ask their personal information. We do ask them for their medical information. For example, do they have a cochlear implant or not? Because if they have a cochlear implant and they're unconscious when the emergency services get there, they can't get an MRI.
The mobile service provider says that it became evident that they needed to address the needs of those that are vulnerable.
Adjudicators at the Southern African Startup Awards are almost done with selecting country winners. The next phase would be to select regional Southern African winners. Let's hear about it.
Southern African Startup Award is a circuit of the Global Startup Award, where we connect regional ecosystem in Africa and the rest of the world. So when we came to Africa in 2017, there were only five regions, and now we've added 2 more to the Global Startup Award. We are in 64 countries, three continents. So basically what we do is we look for young entrepreneurs who've done so much within the space of technology and innovation, where they solve societal problems using tech. I think entrepreneurship is the key to every economy. It's the key to entrepreneurs are the best thing that can ever happen to every economy, to every country. And looking at our continent, we have so many resources. If we say Africa is that world, is that place, then we need to take advantage of it. And with technology coming in now, I mean, the fourth industrial revolution, everyone is talking about AI, Bitcoin, blockchain, and all these technologies are out there right now. We feel that it is the right moment for Africans to use it and solve some of the many problems and the challenges that we've been facing as a continent. It's actually a 2-day event. What we normally do is we create workshops. We have panel discussions. On this year, we're going to be talking about investment readiness, which is a really challenging topic that most entrepreneurs don't know. Some of them don't even know what investment readiness is all about, how they need to be. But we're going to be having that topic. We'll also be talking about the startup ecosystem in Africa and how we could really help broaden it. And a bit more important, we're going to be talking about collaboration and partnership. And part of the panel discussion we'll be having is bootstrapping. How do entrepreneurs focus on building their business rather than only waiting for venture capitalists to support them? The Global Startup Award falls in 3 stages. You have the nationals, the regionals, and then the global. The nationals, each country will host their own award under the categories that we have chosen, and then they will select the winner. That's what we did in Cape Town. We were selecting the South Africans winners who will be representing South Africa at the region. So what happened in Cape Town is going to be repeating itself in all these other countries. And then the 27th, 28th of November, all the winners of these countries will come together, then compete again under the same categories. And then we have 6 baseline categories that goes to the Global Startup Award. to compete with the other 64 countries. We focus on tech startup. Therefore, you startups that are solving problems, startups using technology or web. But then you must be a startup that is functioning already. You must have at least 1 or 2 clients, 0 to 5 years. You can't be above 5 years to participate.
It is SABC Network on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. News Network at sabc.co.za on email. After the break, producer Sandile Hlangani chats about data science and why it's so important. It is SABC Network on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. News Network at sabc.co.za on email. Welcome back. Now South Africa has a shortage of data scientists. We went to the Explore Data Science Academy to find out from those who are studying towards a program in data science why they're doing this.
I found the application for the Data Science Academy online, so I had applied to the Explore Data Science Academy, and when I came for interviews for Explore Data Science Academy, I also heard about AlphaCode Explore 10X program, which is a program that was looking for people who have fintech business ideas to come learn some data science skills, also learn some business skills, and possibly get their businesses off the ground. So in the program, you learn a lot of data science. So in the beginning, we started off with like SQL, and then we started learning Python, learning all the necessary programming skills to be ready to become a data scientist. So they taught us all the skills that we needed to become data scientists and all the programming. And through the AlphaCode Explore program, we were learning both data science skills and also some business skills. So we went through a program where we had some coaching from the mentors here, teaching us how to build a business, how to create a value proposition for your customers, and how to essentially build a business. And with that, we also had the opportunity through the program to pitch to AlphaCode, and so I made it through to the final pitch event, and I pitched that night, and I got selected as one of the top 8 businesses to be awarded 2 million rand in startup funding and support. Yeah. So what the business does, so All is a payment platform for public transport. So what we're looking to address is the lack of integration and interoperability between different public transport systems. So we want to aggregate public transport systems onto one platform. So using just your mobile device, you can gain access and pay for your fare across any public transport system that you wish to use.
Well, the interest came while studying, right? When I was in matric, I made a decision that I want to do anything related to mathematics. So then I went and studied mathematics and so forth, and I've got a BSc degree in that. And then this opportunity came, and when it came, I was like, oh, okay, this is very relevant for the degree I studied. Then that's how it came about.
The biggest reason why I was nervous about this is because I've been doing this for so long, and I still feel like I'm still learning. It's every day there's something new that's coming up, whether it's a programming solution, it's a different way to gather data, different way to visualize data. It's constantly evolving. There's even, recently there's medical, you can get medical insights from data science. I didn't even know that. So
one thing about data science is that it addresses many problems. It addresses your if you're in media, you can utilize it for media. If you are in the banking sector, like I said, it also assists in that, because there are multiple problems that you find in the banking sector, whereby you need to know your client and identify if you want to give this client a loan or not. So data science has actually been existing for quite a long time.
Producer Sandile Hlangani spoke to one of the founders of the Explore Data Science Academy about why they are choosing to provide this program.
Mark, thank you so much for joining us. Maybe I should ask by asking this question. What is data science?
Data science is the process of collecting data, storing data, analyzing data to extract useful information. So, for want of a better word or phrase, it's about problem solving.
So what's driving the demand for data scientists?
I think it's not just one particular factor, but a number of factors coming together. So I think first and foremost, there's an exponential growth in data points. There's a stat out that more data was developed in 2019 than in the entire history of the world. So we've got exponential growth of data, we've got exponential storage power, we've got various sources of data, and we've got connectivity, which allows all these factors to come together, whereby you can apply various mathematical algorithms which have actually been around for ages at scale to unlock these useful answers.
So how can data science help businesses?
Sure, that's a long conversation, and I guess in many ways. So data science effectively unlocks business value. It'll either make something more efficient, it'll optimize something, it will make something more sustainable, it can make something cheaper, it can help an organization make more money, and there are a number of use cases which are being developed on a constant basis.
Do you think the need to start this academy was as a result of the need of these data scientists?
Definitely we're seeing a large demand globally as well as in sort of corporate South Africa for these skills, and as ways of work change, so this demand will continue to grow, hence the need for organizations like this that can train up digital skills at scale in an efficient manner to find alternative pathways into employment. To that effect, we're so confident with the growth and demand, we've just now launched our Explore Money Back Promise, where we're guaranteeing jobs for graduates within 6 months of graduating with a minimum salary of 240,000 Rand per annum.
So what happens at this academy and who qualifies?
So we recruit an aptitude and attitude, not necessarily whether you went to the right school, whether you got the right marks at university. So we run an aptitude test. We test for your ability to understand maths, stats, problem-solving logic. We do a 2-week coding bootcamp, test for your ability to learn something digitally and online. And we do a face-to-face interview, literally looking for the lights in the eyes and the hunger of these individuals who want to learn. And we found that with those attributes combined with our curriculum, we have a very high rate of employment and training.
In the past few months, we've seen banks like Standard Bank retrenching their staff, which I believe that it adds to the rate of unemployment in this country. Do you think data science skills will solve that problem? I
think data science skills are definitely part of the answer. So if we look at any corporate, they're constantly under pressure to remain competitive. They're capitalist in nature, and they're all under the threat of globalization. So there's this constant threat to or need to sort of restructure and stay relevant. And at the same time, that brings on a new wave of job roles and functions which traditionally fit into a digital skills type world. Last year we trained 100 students, 97 finished, and 93 got jobs within 3 months, not only in banks but across other organizations as well. So we're certainly seeing this as adding to the solution and not creating the problem.
Mark, thank you so much for being part of our network.
Thank you so much for coming by and visiting us, Sally. It was an absolute pleasure.
Hey yo, what's up? Sanbonan, it's your boy MT. My favorite technology is my television because it's a smart TV. I'm able to use it. I'm able to use the internet on my TV, which is something that is like dope. I can go on YouTube on my TV. I can, Google stuff, and it's got dope picture. It's very clear. So when I'm playing even my PlayStation, the quality is dope. So yeah, my television is my favorite right now. Yeah.
It is SABC Network on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. Welcome back. Now here's what else took place in the rest of the technology space in the rest of the world.
This Azzurri fan watched as South Africa take on Italy from another perspective. Italian astronaut Luca Pamitano watched the match from the International Space Station, orbiting at 27,000 km per hour, some 400 km above the Earth.
Così anche noi a bordo della Stazione Spaziale Internazionale siamo una squadra internazionale di astronauti che lavorano per un obiettivo, che è quello della scienza, della tecnologia, dell'esplorazione. Anche noi facciamo molto sport, probabilmente non quanto ne fate voi, ma siamo ben vicini al vostro mondo e vogliamo dirvelo augurandovi un grosso in bocca al lupo per la prossima partita, per questo campionato mondiale, e che vinca il migliore.
And now in South Korea. The country's residents of the village in the demilitarized zone, one of the world's most heavily armed borders separating the two Koreas, have now got 5G service in town, allowing them to utilize high-tech educational software, emergency alert systems, and run smart farms.
요즘엔 5G가 이렇게 돼서 시원하게 안에서도 즐길 수 있는 게 재밌어요.
지역의 특성 때문에 아이들이 등하교가 자유롭지 않은 그런 문제점들을 이 5G 기술을 이용하면 시공간적인 제한을 지금 극복하고 좀 더 다양하고 흥미로운 콘텐츠들을 아이들에게 제공해서 교육을 할 수가 있고.
South Korean mobile carrier KT Corp launched the 5G network in Taesong Freedom Village in June. This is Atlas, a humanoid robot that just might give top gymnasts such as Simone Biles and Aliyah Mustafina a run for their money. US-based engineering and robotics firm Boston Dynamics says its humanoid creation uses its legs, arms and torso to complete a number of gymnastic maneuvers.
If you've been on Twitter recently, you might have been struggling to unlock some of its features. This is because the company has said that certain features were down, especially for TweetDeck users. So, our Twitter poll this week is asking you if you've had any problems accessing parts of your Twitter. Now, 28% of respondents say yes, they have had problems accessing parts of their Twitter. That figure is in second place. The majority at 53% says no, they did not notice any problems with their Twitter. And in last place are people who are at 19%, who are saying that this is actually not important. Alright, so that's it. So that's all we have for you. Find us on SABC Network on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. It's newsnetwork@sabc.co.za, on email. From me and the rest of the team, thank you very much for being a part of our network. Have a good one. It's bye-bye.